It's Trinity time. We're going to do another video getting you ready to meditate with us on Wednesday nights. This week, our energy is devotion. Devotion is a simple energy, so I'm going to give you a simple exercise. Devotion, in its essence, just makes your heart louder. It increases the intensity in your heart so that, in comparison, your habits and your neediness and your wants and your judgments of how things should be all seem quieter. And it's easier to listen to your heart and say, no, I'm going to do what my heart wants, not my pattern, not my need of the moment, not my desire to have something pleasing, which is what gets us all in trouble, right? That's when we get off the path. That's when we find ourselves doing things and saying things and getting involved in things that don't really satisfy who we are. And we go, how did I get here? I've gotten distracted again. I wish I were more devoted. Well, being devoted just means that you turn up the intensity in your heart so that it's easier to hear. It's easier to hear the voice of the heart. So I have a very simple exercise to help you with that. In Japanese martial arts styles, which is where I got my start, my first martial arts training came from a Japanese style called Tai-Do. And they taught me about ki-ai, which is that sound, that vocalization that you make when you strike. In any sort of Japanese martial art, they will have ki-ai. And if you see a demonstration where they're breaking boards, they'll vocalize right at the moment of impact because it focuses all of your vital energy. Most of these ki-ais, and they have a lot of them, there's all different kinds of sounds depending on what you're going to do. If you have a spinning technique, it's a two-syllable one. That's the hi-ya. If it's a board-breaking thing where you want to center your energy down, it's a low sound. They'll go do. If it's a straight shot, it's usually sa. And they'll put a lot of emphasis in it because it's bringing all that energy to a point. All of your chi, although they call it ki in Japanese styles, will suddenly be focused by that sound. And it's used for striking, usually. But they do have one use of it where they bring it inside the body. Instead of focusing it on the board that you're going to break, you bring it inside. It's a technique to sort of make yourself impenetrable. If you know you're going to take a hit, you put the armor inside by bringing all this intensity inside of you. And the sound that they use for that is H-W-A. Hua! 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 Now, if you say it wrong with a tight throat, it'll give you a sore throat after a while. So you have to keep your throat open. And I always practice by doing that thing that the Marines do when they're acknowledging, you go pick up that Humvee, and they go, hoo-ha! Which is like, yes, sir, or something. Hoo-ha! And I always practice that at first because it gets my throat open. And then I go, hua! Hua! And if you put your hand on your heart, you can feel it all centering there. Hua! And it's like, whoa! All the intensity level in my heart just got turned to 11. It's a really easy way to bring some devotion into your life. If you practice it, I suggest practicing it first somewhere where you can be a little loud, because that gets your mind thinking intensity. Hua! Hua! But after a while, you can have the same intensity without the volume. You can bring it down and just go, Hua! Hua! And it feels the same. Under your hand, it feels the same, even though it's not as loud. But you need to practice it loud a little bit at first to build up that feeling of intensity. And then after a while, when you're getting ready to go shopping or something, you're like, I got to stick to my budget. You know, I can't get distracted by impulse purchases. I'm trying to be responsible here. Then before you go into the store, just go, whoa, and feel it. Feel it resonate in your heart. And you're like, okay, now my heart's going to be louder than my impulsive emotional voice. It's a really easy way to bring some devotion into your life. If you think this stuff's cool, stay tuned for more Trinity.